The former four-star Thompson High School standout and former Alabama QB for a year at least, spent 4 years at Maryland, Tulia Tagliavoio was released by the Hamilton Tiger Cats today. I never understood the reason for two felines to be attached together with a hyphen. The dream is not over, though. NFL camps will be opening soon, and there's always he and his brother could start the next great elite quarterback camp. I like the name Camp Tagliavoia Thrower. Just kind of rolls off the tongue. Let's take a look around the herd. Roll Tide, Alabama fans. Roll Tide. Welcome to Tight Sports. This is the Alabama Football Megacast and the People's Crimson Tide Network. Thank you for joining me on whichever virtual space your thumb has led you to here on Tight Sports. We talk Alabama sports all day, any day, every day. That's why we want to thank you for joining and let you know that the Crimson Tide is always in title run mode. We're looking for something all the time. We ain't just going to do this stuff for free. We're not doing this stuff for free. I want to throw something in here that's away from my normal thing. Get over to Auburn Addicts. That man is doing something special. Now, I know he's going to be denigrating the name of the Crimson Tide, but that man got some special stuff going on that channel over there. Anyway, let the world know we always in title run mode. That's why they hate us. All the college football infidels and scoundrels, please come in, take notes, behave yourself. Don't be digging in between your toes while you're up in Tight Sports. Don't be doing that. Leave your shoes on. Wash your hands. Use a napkin, and you might just learn yourself something. Give your brother a pound. Just drop that pound right down on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Tight Sports. Hit that like button. You know what you gotta do. If I successfully stimulate the happy juice in your gray matter and make your funny bone jiggle, let me know by poking that like button where? Right in the eye. Right now. Let the algorithm know what we're doing over here. Algorithm might not know, may not be aware of what's going on Tight Sports. Now, let's get rocking and rolling with some news and notes. Real quick, Alabama baseball team went down in flames against Ole Miss. They still trying to get qualified for the regional, but folks, they almost lost like 40% of their games this year. Nobody likes that. 32-18, so you get 50. You can't. It's not exactly. It's like 36% of their games, but they should be trying. They're trying to host the regional for the World Series, but keep our fingers crossed, guys. I guess they did get a split with who was this? Ole Miss, 2-1. But hey, this time of the year, you got to be clicking. Keep it clicking. To the softball team, to the ladies of the Crimson Tide, right here on Tight Sports. We value the ladies of the Crimson Tide. They were always respected, never neglected. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Softball team beat Mississippi State in the first round of the SEC tournament. What was it? 4-1 behind a complete game by our big arm, Miss Torrance. She pitched 7 innings. Then in the quarterfinal, as my man said, bats no lights warmers, Major League. The Alabama Crimson Tide ladies, they fell 0-3. Yeah, we got 3 hits, 0 runs. So that's an exit from the SEC tournament. But never fear, there's always the regional. Should be going to the regional, which starts on May 12th. The ladies finished the season 35-17, better than the men by 1 game or 2 games, or just better. But they are battling, trying to get that next championship. Now, we hear a lot of talk about stars. Crimson Tide has really done well with the stars. Not the stars up in the sky. I don't know why I'm looking up here like this. But we're talking about the other stars. We're talking about the stars on the team, the football team. And things have been quiet. Recruiting hasn't changed. I think we got a couple of guys on the basketball team coming in. All of them 4 stars, whatever. I don't think we got 1 5-star. But what does this star thing mean? If you talk to DC, he's known me a long time. He know I was always like, hey, when I started my channel, man, I don't know if I'm doing this recruiting stuff. He said, you got to do that recruiting stuff. People want to hear about the recruiting stuff. Well, I just know it's not exactly a fair system. But I want to look at that today and learn some things about, and maybe you'll learn some things about the star rating system that everybody relies on to find their next superstar, find their next winning, this, that, or the other, and get, in some people's cases, get their next SEC championship, playoff berth, and maybe national championship. If you've never been on one of those in the last 4 years, I'm probably not talking about. You need to get some stars just so you can break even. That would be a nice place to start. But when you're evaluating this star rating system, I'm kind of looking at the accuracy, the history, the advantages, and limitations of that system. It's a 2 to 5-star system. It's used by all the big media places, 24/7 Rivals, ESPN, but I ain't about to pay nobody to tell me how good a teenager is. Forget that. Or On 3, ESPN make you pay. I don't pay for that stuff. They say it really kicked off like in the late 90s as the digital age started. Rivals was like a pioneer of everything. Then National Signing Day took off in the 2000s. Everybody started doing the hat dance and setting hats on fire, throwing hats in trash cans. I'm waiting for somebody to put a flamethrower up on a hat and just torch a whole school right on national TV. That would be exciting. Then we had Huddle come along. Huddle gives you access. Ooh, that reminds me. We got to get your film ready, man. Son, I forgot. We got to edit this film. YouTube, give you access to all this tape. But what does it all mean when somebody says that you're a 2-star? You know what it means when you're a 2-star? It means that you are a developmental player on the FCS level, D2. You're developmental at that point. They're saying, don't even come up here to the big boys. You going down to maybe Tuskegee, or maybe Alabama State, or maybe not Kennesaw no more, Mercer or West Georgia, or go over to West Alabama, used to be formerly Livingstone College, and you try your hand over there, son. You should do great things, set conference records, and you will go to the NFL. If you're a 3-star, that says you're a solid recruit in the group of 5. So you go on over to Memphis, or going over to UAB, South Alabama. Shout out to Nick, Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Just go over there and, have you a good time. Or if you come up here to this 3-star, up to the FBS level as a 3-star, you're going to add depth to our team. If they tell you that's what it means, that's what it means. Do you want to go sit on the bench at Alabama, or do you want to be a starter at Tulane? Now, 4-star, that is a high-level prospect for a Power 5 school. Problem is, they got a lot of 4-stars out there, and ain't that many positions at the Power 5 school. They're saying this person could be a potential starter, which is what people want to do. They want to go to their favorite school, probably Alabama, and start. If you're a 4-star, you got a shot. They're going to pay you attention. Now, if you're a 5-star, 5-star is like royalty. You are elite, one of the best amongst the best. It's not guaranteed, but it's saying you have NFL potential. NFL potential. Out of high school, they looking at you saying that you can go to the doggone National Football League. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. Power 5 starter is what you're looking at. I mean, you go up and that Ryan Williams, he was only 17 years old and played the whole year. I had to say it one more time. I can't say that no more. But I just want to he was 17 years old, played the whole career. If you're a Power 5 starter potential, that's a lot. Now, the reason I bring this up is because, I just want to look at this whole thing. People are starting to get paid based on the opinions of others. If you are a 4-star recruit, you are entitled to a certain amounts of monies from other people. I just tell you what, in the case of, I feel, in the case of one of Alabama's players, Lysia Brooks, this system failed him. This man had almost broke every doggone record in New Jersey before his senior year. And he was a 3-star. Make it make sense. I ain't talking about, it's one thing he did well during his junior season, but almost breaking the state records going into early in your senior year, and you're a 3-star? Why? Because your mama couldn't take off, your daddy couldn't take off for 4, 5, 7 weekends, drag you around the country to all these dumb camps? No. Oh, and I forgot 1-stars. 1-stars, of course, these are guys, the definition said on it, when I asked the computer, when I get in the Google box, I said, what is a 1-star? They said, these are guys that can make splashes at Auburn and Mississippi State. I kid you. Now let's look at the accuracy over the years of this star system. 60% of 5-stars become starters. So that means 40%. Think about it. 40% of 4-stars, 5-stars, go to college and just disappear. Ooh. 30% of 5-stars, however, I mean half of the 60 are drafted into the National Football League. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. That's nice. That's good. That's some accuracy, because that's the only system we got. 4-stars are major contributors. They attribute 30 to 40% of your NFL draft rate. So somebody's hitting on the mark. I would love to see these numbers broken down by service. Rivals, 24/7, On3, and y'all can pay and let me know what they got on ESPN. I know anybody paying them no money to find out about no teenagers. Is there something wrong about logging into a website, paying money to learn about children? That's going to hit you tomorrow morning. 9% of 3-stars make it to the National Football League. 9%. And there's a lot of 3-stars. There's a lot of 3-stars. Is it possible that people's future rests in the opinions of people who ain't never ran a 5.5 40? Never thrown a football accurately over 25 yards in their life. And the only hole they ever hit was the doggone top of their coffee cup with a donut. People like me, people like me just determining, thou art a 4-star. Thou art not. You are vanquished. How accurate is this system? Is it this? I know this is the best system we have, but how good is it? How can it be improved? I just got a problem with it, because I always looked at it like, Coaches got to start somewhere. And then if I got a 5-star, especially in the day of NIL, I'm not busting up into your school, coach. I'm not. I just heard Ed Orgeron talk about he knew this recruit. He went to the school. Everybody had got fired by USC. I don't know who the coach was before this guy I mentioned. He knew this 5-star. He was coaching at USC. I think he was defensive line coach. Walked up to this guy, and the dad met him halfway and said, Big Mike, I think it was dad's name. He's like, Coach, we're not coming to USC. Y'all don't know who the coach is, and we're not coming. So he went to another school, was on the field. He's recruiting for USC, not even knowing if he had a job. And he went to him and just riding down the road, said, I'm going to go to this other football game. I'm going to keep working till they say Ed don't come back no more. He walks in there. On the sideline was Pete Carroll, recruiting. He was like, hey, what's going on there? He's like, what's going on, Ed? You know, how you doing there, coach? And he said, what are you doing here? He said, I'm recruiting. He said, don't tell nobody, but Monday I'm going to be named as the next head coach for USC. He said, what are you doing here? I'm recruiting for USC. And he was like, okay, well, that's good. He said, do you know somebody out here? He started naming the players that he knew. He already had his hooks in him. Still, he said, we'll talk about it later, man. You know, it's good to see you, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even know he had a job. First, they announced that he was a coach. He had the first meeting with the people. He said, we're going to be selecting our staff. We thank y'all for your time. We're going to be moving on. And we just think, we're going to ask everybody to keep it going. And, we'll contact you about your final. He was firing everybody, basically. You see, so we're going to get things going. I got my guys here. We're going to see who we're going to fill all these other positions. So thank you for coming. Everybody started leaving. And he said, Ed, come in, Ed. He kept Ed because Ed knew folks. And that guy who said he wasn't coming, Big Mike's dad said we not coming. When he found out Pete Carroll was there, he came to USC. And you know what happened after that? They bought the house for Red. No, they won championships. And that's what I'm saying. If you're inaccurate with these assessments, coaches won't know which way to turn. And you got to know, once you started at school, you're not getting that many 5-stars. I am still shocked to this moment that Julio Jones played at Alabama in 2008 or 9, whenever that was. I am shocked. Alabama was not a throwing school, hadn't been known for throwing since the days of Stabler and it wasn't a lot when the other boy, Joe Namath, just not known for throwing the ball, especially not known, more importantly, for taking a great receiver and projecting them into the NFL. So I'm still shocked and thankful that Julio Jones left Spanish Fort and came to Tuscaloosa, because he could have went anywhere else, still been in the pros. But he was the first. He was the first one, and it changed everything. But when you look at the accuracy of this thing, it says in my research that 5-stars are 10 times more likely to be drafted. That means a lot. But are they more likely to be drafted because they are more well-known? Because 70% of 4 to 5 stars become college starters altogether. 2 stars rarely start at the Power 5 level. I know I haven't even seen one unless it was like a specialist, like a kicker or a punter. I haven't seen too many of those on Alabama's roster over the time. Often these things they just miss because 40 to 50% of the players in the NFL, were never even rated. I'm gonna say it again: 40 to 50% of the players in the NFL were never given a rating. They were never given the star, not even the 1-star or 2-star. Now, why is that? Why do you think that happened? Around 47%, it just showed up. It's depending on where you go. But the data from the NL Players Association and the NCAA from 2020 to 2023 showed that 40 to 50% of them players that were drafted, no stars, nowhere. That takes me to another point. I know people miss out because people are living in rural areas. people don't live outside of a Birmingham or Atlanta or Nashville or Memphis or Miami, you kind of get lost in the wash. But with as many coaches getting fired from these programs, not as much because of NIL. Because, you talking about bust it wide open, fire your coach. Your player's going to bust it wide open. Go talk to We Are Marshall. They are a brand new team of strangers is what they are. With so many sorry coaches out here, or coaches that find themselves in situations to be fired and terminated, you would think these people would be turning over stones and rocks everywhere, checking news clips and checking the internet, running analysis of coefficients, covariances, finding out, is there a player, maybe he's short, maybe too short or too light or too doing extraordinary things. I just can't believe this many people of 134 coaches and staff. How are these people missing all these people? North Dakota State needs to find them for FCS. South Dakota State found them for FCS. Grand Canyon University, some of these small schools, they are consistently right there. And a lot of times they come out of those schools, go to bigger schools. I don't know if they have the budget or the know-how. They don't know that area. They kind of fall off, just like the coaches from Boise. They find what they need and keep it going. They may miss on a coach every once in a while, but they're back now. That coach, I always say that coach would be crazy you leave Boise. Every one of them has been crazy because I don't think none of them did anything. Maybe one or two did something for a second. Coach Prime has found them or they found him. But some of these people, what y'all doing out there? Now, according to 24/7, a study of the NFL draft classes from 2018 to 2022 showed that 53 to 58% of the players drafted had a three-star rating or higher. 47% were 2 stars or really unknown. So I wondered, where is the accuracy at? Is it across the board or is it with a player? When they look at the ratings, when you're talking about quarterbacks, wide receivers, edge rushers, star ratings correlate very well. I wish I had some percentages on that, but they're saying you can win right there. But when you go to the places where it takes a lot, where you got to put in a lot of heart, in that trench. Oh, yeah, he looked good out there on that high school practice field. He looked good at the summer camp, going between all the little weeble wobbles and all that stuff, going through picking up the what do you call it, the sled that don't hit back. Offensive linemen, tight ends, and safeties. Interestingly enough, it's kind of a physical position. The projections are very inconsistent, to say the least. And kickers and punters, they're just rarely on that level. Some are and some are not. So the advantages is that, national sports exposure and the early offers allow a player to build an NIL value. There's a guy that's with Alabama right now. I'm like, who is this guy? Played at high school, didn't go to the playoffs. He transfers to Atlanta to play at an academy I never heard of. But he's a 3-star, and he signed as soon as they offer him, sign him. Now, this guy is probably going to be at least a 4-star by the time he gets to the end of his senior football season. There's no guarantee he goes to Alabama. He can say, I'm a 4-star now, baby. I got options. Either you need to renegotiate this NIL or I'm going to go grab that NIL. He's giving himself options. I can't blame him. That's the new game. And a lot of people just lack the verification of evaluations because why it can't give you exposure? What are you doing? Are you judging linemen at 7-on-7 competition or something? I just recently saw they do this, trench war stuff they do. If you just defensive lineman against offensive lineman, no pads, but they slap each other around for about an hour and see who wins the most battles. It's not even game atmosphere, but you can see who bring it. You can see who got the moves, but is it football? And is everybody there? It's almost one of those things if a tree falls in the woods is making noise. If these services have looked at 500 offensive linemen, but they're literally 50,000 playing football, the numbers are really off. I don't know how to overcome that, though. but the numbers are really off. But I think the coaches, especially the ones that's about to get fired, that eventually find themselves on the hot seat or eventually find themselves sitting in front of the athletic director, talking about, please, man, we just ain't got the players. Lying to the doggone press, lying to the people. Y'all need to get out there and find them. You need to go find them. People, I know just bring the 5-star in ain't it. DJ Ooey Gooey went to Florida State. For some reason, didn't work out. This is supposed to make the recruiting process efficient for coaches. Helps them to filter through all of the junk, so to speak. But if you are coaching and you're not winning, you have to do something else. You got to hit the JUCOs to see people playing against grown men or whatever the case. This stuff was sitting in your lawn chair and just clicking on film and telling the guy to shoot me the videos. That ain't it. You need to get out there and hear some pass clapping, something, at least for a 50-mile area around wherever you coaching. They say this can help them with the resource allocation and everything. Nobody care about that if you ain't winning. Keep spending $30 million and losing. Keep doing it. You're gonna get fired. You're gonna get fired. Well, I was 7-5. Who cares? You spent $30 million. And you spent $30 million for the last 5 years. Now, we ain't want to fire you because we don't want to open up that portal over our head. But we might well flush the whole thing down the toilet because we ain't going nowhere. We are, insert your sucky school right there. Now, for the fans and the media, you know, it gives this excitement. This keeps the euphoria going. And DC says, you know, the rankings, we got to know we coming and we can look at your people. Y'all linemen ain't big enough. And y'all this, and I ain't see y'all getting no running backs that's worth nothing. You know, it gives us stuff to talk about. But I don't care about that. I don't care. If you got a bunch of dogs out there and they all 3 stars, I'm ready to rock. I ain't ready to rock with no 1 star. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'd rather coach get what they need, you know, and it gives us off-season content engagement. That's one of the greatest things I found. It's like, because I create content, so this gives me off-season content engagement. So that's what I'm doing right now. The disadvantages, though, they are really big, though. I mean, there's a bias. You ain't gonna believe this. I know people say it's an SEC bias. I found in a few articles there's bias towards the southern states. Well, bless our heart. Southern states get reasonable bias when it comes to something, anything, great. And the ratings, they will give somebody a 4-star in their junior year, sometimes a 5-star, and it sticks. It don't say nothing. You know, they won't even go back and change it. How many people get downstarred, I guess, or downgraded after? You ever see a 3-star go to a 0-star? I mean, it can happen, but it's rare. So when you give a person a high rating too early, it, you know, gets crazy. And as I said before, these rankings and these ratings, they get inflated, you know, based upon your school commitment. You never know if a coach be like, hey, man, I played with your father back in the day. I'm over here at, I don't know, some team inside the top 20. So what we're going to do, man, I can't give you no scholarship, man, because I don't want, but I'm going to help you out. I don't want you here, but I'm going to help you out. I'm going to offer you a scholarship, and we're going to get your rating up 1 star, and then you're going to decommit. Why would I do that, coach? I want to play for you. I know you do. You're just not good, son, but I'm going to help you out. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. It's possible. If I play college football or professional football with a kid, with a guy, he got a kid, and we can work that out, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to stick him on, let's say, I just use Alabama. I stick him on Alabama. He wasn't a star. Now he's on Alabama. He's a 3-star in 1 place, and he's nothing on the other 3 sites. Nothing. Maybe a 2-star or 1-star. In a year, especially if he's a sophomore, guarantee you he gets rated by Alabama on him. Crank it up. Just crank it up. And of course, this system is not perfect. It doesn't capture the things like intangibles, work ethic, IQ, common doggone sense. Kirby. Because I don't know what Kirby doing over there in Georgia. I don't know. They got people. Them people need to go straight out of football season and NASCAR season where they can put their skills to work. But far too many are left by the wayside due to a bunch of unimaginative coaches that are not interested in developing players. We already know some people just don't want to coach. But there are a few different reasons or for not recognizing the great building blocks of players. There's a couple different reasons for that. You see, some people can look at it and be like, yeah, oh, yeah, Cody. Yeah, he's a big guy. Oh, he can slam. Okay, he can slam the basketball. Yeah, oh, he plays basketball for the JUCO. Okay, come here for a second. Certain coaches can figure it out, but some people are on that stuff like, I don't need the greatest players because my system, I got the system and the players don't matter as much. I don't know what as much means, but don't better players make your system better? I remember one player, a player I know to be the greatest player of all time in college football. He turned a 8th grade offense into a national championship. And I say this because it was all him. It was all him. No disrespect to the school you played at, but it was all him. Then we got people that's dealing with laziness. You got, couch clip coaching, where they get on there and be like, hey, man, cut on the laptop and let's get them up on the big screen. Let's start this recruiting class. Let's turn some video on and see, if we see it on tape, then we don't see. If we don't see it on tape, ain't no use us riding over there. And if we see it on tape, ain't no need to go see it. I mean, that's not how it works, man. Especially if you go to Huddle. You think I'm going to put my son's worst film out there? You have lost your mind. Stuff he did maybe in the 8th grade. I want to show you market improvement every video you see. And then some coaches just don't know when they see it. Let's face it. It's people, they just get promoted to coach and they don't know what they're looking at. They may know what it looks like on offense. They don't know what it looks like on defense. They may know what a good quarterback and a receiver look like. But they don't know what a good running back or a center is or guard. You got a guard that's 6'7". They want him pulling 2/3 of the run plays. Like, are you sure about that, coach? Some people just don't know when they see it. This is why we have these type of players that show up in the NFL and just show up out of nowhere and take over. Few examples. J.J. Watt, NFL Defensive Player of the Year a couple times, I think. Future Hall of Famer. Turn the league out, turn it upside down. 2-star. Two. You may have heard of Josh Allen. NFL Pro Bowl quarterback. I don't know if we'll say if he's a future Hall of Famer yet, but he's on his way to becoming one. I tried to go verify this on 2 different places. Some people say he was a 1-star, but most people say he has 0 stars. I know there's improvement that can happen, but 0 stars? But I know everybody remember USC quarterback Max Brown. He was a 5-star recruit. Played at USC, played at Pittsburgh, had no major impact nowhere. None at all. Had nothing. But in the final assessment, this is a valuable tool, not perfect. It is best at of identifying the physical talent needed. But it's not what they may do on the field. You see what I'm saying? They look like they should be on the field, but they don't show it. It's weak at measuring the development or fit for the team. And that don't matter, I know, because players know that the NIL money will certainly fit into their bank accounts. They ain't worried about the fit on the team. So you end up as a tackle playing somewhere where they're running the ball 80% of the time, talking about you going to the league. Oh, no, you are not. So coaches have to go and dig deeper. A few things they probably want to look into is, it'll be great if these rankings would include how well these players may play at the different schools on their list. So then the players have 30 different lists up there. They ought to say, man, hey, cuz, no, you can't go to West Point. Can't, for instance. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to school and end up in jail. Some kind of metric or something that says, like, this is a level 3 passing team. They may throw the ball, but they don't do it well. So being a quarterback going there would be kind of like, you better bring all your skills with you because they're not going to teach you any. Or if you're a running back, and they'd be like, oh, well, if I was a running back, I wouldn't go to this school because the offensive line is weak. It's been suspect. They put nobody in the pros, nobody in the CFL even, in the last 10 years. So if you're a running back, you might find a place that puts more linemen in the league, just something like that. But, and this is especially for the 3 stars. So a guy knows they're going to be considered depth at LSU, but you're going to be a starter in Memphis, for 1 year, in 1 year, that makes a lot more sense to me. I mean, playing time is important. And you might go to Memphis, blow up your weight, and go back to LSU and get some real money or more money, because the money at Memphis is probably real too. The media has the money to look at all these FBS programs and kind of come up with that kind of parity, aid in parity, come with that kind of analysis to let guys know where they need to be going. But I know people in Twitter, or X, they'll let you know, why are you trying to go to Texas and you're a dual threat quarterback? You're going to end up playing tight end. They will tell you out there, they tell their favorite players, like, no, you don't need to go to, especially if they want them to go to their school. And then next, you can probably look into the combine testing. Have these events encourage them to have more standard, like 15 tests or measures that everybody uses. You can have your other special little competition too. But that way, you can put them in a database maybe and assess them and have more of these events, because there are events everywhere, but they're not tied in. Like this guy may be on Instagram, which I attended one of these. He's very popular in the area, but he needs to be linked in to the larger events. And then those guys look at his people and invite them up, but at least house these guys work on the internet. And all the parents don't have time to bust out CapCut or whatever it is, DaVinci, and create a video for their children. Some of them don't have time to do that. They're working 3 jobs, whatever the case may be. Do something to bring this stuff together so more players can get exposure. Ain't nobody about to be going to camp every weekend of the summer just because you said so. But when they do stretch the budget and get to a camp, they can, make the most out of it. We know this system is not perfect, but improvements can be made. Even then, only the head coach on high can judge a man's heart. Like our most recent travesty of recruiting justice. One player went from an under-recruited quarterback to a record-setting FCS player, a low to no star, who went on to prove himself at the FBS level out of West Columbia High School in Texas as a senior. This man threw for like nothing because they ran a running offense, and he didn't go to a whole bunch of camps. He got offered a scholarship by the University of Incarnate Word. That's in Texas. And, that's the only scholarship he had. So he went there. In the spring, he blew it out because that was a COVID year. So he's played 6 games in the spring, and he kind of got on the radar. This is FCS, so he won the Jerry Rice Award, given to the most outstanding offensive freshman. Then the second year, when they get back to the full season, 4,600 yards, 47 touchdowns. Southland Offensive Player of the Year, only 10 interceptions. His coach got a new job. And he said, they said, get out of there. So they got out of there. They went on to Washington State. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And he tore it up there. 3,200 yards, 23 tutties his first year. The next year, 3,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only seven interceptions. But he had 8 rushing touchdowns. And he decided to go pro from Wazoo because he wanted to avoid, but he decided he wanted to avoid all those quarterbacks. They took 6 in the first round or so, maybe 1 in the second, but about 6 went early. It was a crowd going in there, so he chilled. And he headed over to South Beach. He literally took his talents to South Beach. Took his talents to South Beach, where he took that wretched program to heights it hadn't seen in years. He ripped it up, ended his college career with 17,800 yards passing, 119 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. That's a 5-to-1 ratio. Who would not take that? I'm going to throw 5 touchdowns, coach, and I'm definitely going to throw an interception. Sign here, son. Press hard. And he rushed for 21 more. So he really erased most of the interceptions with rushing touchdowns. And I guess, the folks analyzing the NFL, they just figure, we can bring this kid in, this low to no star, and he can make a splash up here. And that's why Cam Ward is off to Nashville to take his unyielding heart, passion, and intestinal fortitude to the Titans, who need a real winner. And that's all I got for this week, folks. Tune in Wednesday for Iron Bowl debates where me and DC we're gonna debate anything that we can put on the screen. Most time he's wrong. I'm definitely most times always right. Add a pound of pressure to that subscribe button. Hit the notification so you know when I drop a video, when I go live, because I do that a lot. I should do it more. Tell your friends they can find me on YouTube right here at Tight Sports. Out there at Facebook at Tight Sports as well. And shout out to the Sharpshooters podcast. Roll Tide to you. My mouth is dry. And peace to the brothers at Auburn Addicts Water Cooler Talk podcast. Bubba and the old man. And my man Tez at It's Season. It's SE Season. Yeah, I'm trying to get that right. They are a fine group of Auburn Americans. And let's see. And with that, we'll see you next time, Monday, 7:30 p.m. right here around the herd. And always remember, roll, tide, roll.